So now I am going to show you how to load a sample in Kong and alter the pitch, then re-record it in the sequencer. So you're in instruments up here, you drag Kong over, Kong appears up here. Okay, sequencer's down here. You find your sample. I like to start from the top because sometimes everything doesn't load back up if you don't, or it doesn't refresh. Go down. So I have it saved on the desktop. Here it is, and yes, this is the same sample as my other video. Drag it over into Kong. Okay, make sure your device is turned on. I have an MPK Mini, a Kai MPK Mini. So it's on. I dragged it to this button right here. You can hear, you hit the button, it plays, right? So I like to keep the level up. This is the pitch here. Now, when you go down, it's going to sound deeper and darker, which is how you get that old school gritty 90s style of sampling. So again, now I'm going to hit the button. Okay, sample looped. But how do you record the sample into the sequencer and save it that way? So here, I like to record at about, or make my songs about 90 BPM. So change to 90 down here. You have the click, and this is the countdown. So I'm going to do the countdown and the click, the pre-count. All right, so I'm going to hit record. Then I'm going to hit my button on the MPK, and it's going to record the sample into here. Make sure you give yourself enough space if you stretched it. So record, 3, 4. Okay. So stop. All right, that's your sample. Let's see if it recorded. There it is. All right, so you have your sample now. Of course, it's going to play all the way through. So what you do from there is you bounce in place, and what that does is it's going to put it in another lane down here as if you hit add track. Okay, so you bounce your sample in place. That keeps the pitch where you want it to be. But now, see, you got this space where you hit the record button, empty space. So you want to go to the razor tool here, and I like to chop usually in eighths or sixteenths, but to get that precision, you can do 30 seconds, 64ths, whatever works for you. So I'm going to go in 30 seconds. So we're going to slice that piece out here that we don't need, that little airspace in between. Okay, and there's going to be some at the end, so I'm going to drag it over. Same thing. So it plays right from the beginning. Cut that space out before we hit the button. Now here you're going to have to make your judgment call where you want to cut it. Obviously there's space at the end there. Got my razor tool here. Okay, so I'm going to cut it about here. Again, I'm using 30 seconds. So 1/32 of a cut. Delete. All right. So if you want to time stretch it, say you want to make it 4 bars, Control, touch the arrow here, the clock shows up. I did this in my other video. 4 bars. But remember, that is going to speed it up a little bit because you pitched it down, but now you're shrinking it. Still sounds deep, dark, gives it that eerie effect. Now, what you want to do with that is you right-click, bounce, and then you bounce your clip to disk. So first you bounce it in place so you can take it out of Kong from here to here. Now you're going to bounce it from here to here and save it to your desktop or wherever you want to save it. Name it. So we'll save this sample pitch. All right, save. This is the standard default settings it saves in. I never have any problems with this. I always save it at that. And it always saves it and exports as a WAV file. Okay. And that's that for pitch and calm.